Remember, there will always be wars, but war is peace. No one is ever free, but freedom is slavery. Everyone is ignorant, but ignorance is strength. The party is never wrong. Thank you for watching, and don't forget, I've got my eye on you.
I want to talk about the police, who I am a supporter of, and of course, obviously, we all are. We would be in big trouble without the police, but
not necessarily.
Okay, well, let's go there. Because
well,
I want to show pictures first, and then I want to show some of the pictures of the Boston police. Okay, look at this. I mean, if this is what you have, why don't you invade a country? Show some of the other ones. I mean, go up to Canada, take their oil. Look at these. These are half-tracks. I don't care what you might want to call it, an urban assault vehicle, but this country is becoming a police state, and it is very troubling to me.
Well, some Americans would say it's always been a police state. So in New York, we have people who are upset about stop and frisk, stopping black and brown men and frisking them. But there are other New Yorkers who say, oh, no, I'd rather have stop and frisk than have stop and mug. And so we've never come to any agreement about whether the police are here to protect and serve, and who do they protect and serve. So if you and I walk down the street, we may have a completely different experience of the police. The problem is now that the police are beginning to act more like the military.
In the era of terror, the police are a paramilitary organization. Right. That said, this is an ancient debate. This is about freedom versus security. And it is in tension, and that is as it should be. So it's AP citizenship, folks. We debate what the proper balance is. But we're not.
CISPA, the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act, was first introduced in 2011 to legislation by Representative Michael Rogers as an amendment to the National Security Act of 1947, considering it doesn't contain provisions pertaining to cyber threats. The bill would allow the exchange of internet traffic information between the U.S. government and technology and manufacturing companies. It seeks information in the possession of an element of the intelligence community directly pertaining to a vulnerability of or threat to a system or network of a government or private entity, including information pertaining to the protection of a system or network from others' efforts to degrade, disrupt, or destroy the system or network. Purportedly, its purpose is to allow the investigation and protection against cyber threats. On April 26, 2012, the bill passed the House of Representatives, but failed to pass the Senate. Many are concerned with the level of individual and collective privacy that this restricts civilians to due to its loose language, including not only President Barack Obama's advisors, but civil liberties advocate groups such as Fight for the Future, Avaz.org, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and the Sunlight Foundation. On the date of April 18, 2013, the bill was reintroduced to and passed by the House, though again, it was not voted on by the Senate. The main issue with the bill is its subjectivism, considering that individual government entities may interpret that which is a threat differently from another, and this could lead to selfish behavior in favor of large corporations against the will of the majority of citizens.
They're listening. Every word I say is being monitored. No, you're not just on the phone with the good old pizza delivery guy. You're being watched, listened to, monitored. And definitely don't say the word bomb, because you are being listened to. Fourth Amendment be damned, and we will investigate, without you knowing, of course, into anything that we deem suspicious. We will not let you know what we deem suspicious. You have been warned. The FBI has begun using a form of surveillance in which they activate a phone's microphone in order to eavesdrop on conversations that are close by. This invasive technique is called the roving bug. U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan ruled that the technique was legal because federal wiretapping law is broad enough to even encompass conversations near to the phone in question, not just calls made with it. Another issue in the United States are gun ownership rights. How they apply to America and how the rights typically apply to a demographic made up mainly of white males. Often the white males are also Republicans, and this is an issue that irks many Americans, many of whom feel like they're living in a police state, as government ignores infringements upon the rights of its citizens, such as search and seizures, such as also stop and frisk. Many of these programs inadvertently, or perhaps intentionally, violate the rights of its citizens without abandon. The issue with this is that the government is not checked by anything, is not limited by anything, and is not edited by anything. Therefore, we are left to ask the question, who monitors the government? Who makes sure that what the government is doing is legal, is fair, is practical, and doesn't violate any rights? While wiretapping has the potential to weed out terrorists and those who intend to do harm to America, often no benefit is derived from it. Thus, the wiretapping becomes a means to check what everyone is doing. This level of surveillance is a violation of privacy and of rights. Due to the prevalence of drones and technology in this country and this time, unless something is actively done by the people, this is a matter that will only worsen as time goes on. Public and private liberties are being squandered by the government through the use of wiretapping. This is an issue of privacy, which is also an issue that is common when discussing the government and phone taps, the different ethical positions on the dilemma, and the case for and against wiretapping, and how wiretapping laws affect future legislation regarding the rights citizens have or don't have to privacy. In this article, here both Bill Maher and others express their concern for the United States, especially amidst recent events such as the Boston bombings. The critique posited is one that our cars, our phones, our electronics, they are all being watched, and thus our rights are being slowly whittled away. The issue with this is that we're being left in the dark. We're not told that we're losing these rights, they're taken from us. Because the government has all the power, the infringement upon these rights does not get penalized frequently enough, if at all.